Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm a guy called Joe, and this is Bootstrapping Tools Community Support, where we help scrappy bootstrappers just like yourself figure out how to overcome some of the hurdles that they're facing with various tools or situations that they're encountering. Now, before we dive into it, please make sure to check out our YouTube channel. We have lots of videos about all apps of different types, from spreadsheets and Google Sheets to Google Apps Script and scripting to Retool, which is for building applications. And we'll also happen to dive into any other tool that you might want to suggest. So if you want to suggest something, you can reach us at feedback@bootstrapping.tools. Happy to take any suggestions, so feel free to let us know. But for today, what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be helping out this OP post from the Reddit channel for Google Sheets. And this person is asking about conditional formatting based on one cell to another. So it's basically saying, like, I'm not going to use, what you typically find, text is not empty or text contains blah, blah, blah. They want to use a completely different cell in order to influence the conditional formatting for another cell. So they also included a little snippet, a screenshot on what they're trying to do. It looks like they're just doing like personal finances or something like that. And they have a bunch of dates as well as values, and they want to make certain things blue or green or red depending on the situation for those two cells. So I've actually already started the recreating this spreadsheet in Google Sheets. I think it looks pretty similar. I tried to, it was an image, so I had to type it all up. I mean, it looks pretty similar if you take a look at it. The main difference is that, I just don't have the color coordinator for column I and K in theirs, which is going to be column C and E in ours, but whatever, close enough. So the thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using a function called conditional formatting. You can find that in the upper top menu button under format. It's just called conditional formatting. When you click on that, it's going to slide out a little tray on the side, and then this is essentially what we're going to use in order to create the rule sets that we want to change the format of a particular cell or multiple cells based on conditions. So here, because we have from C3 over to C18 are the cells that OP was asking us to change, we'll just go ahead and do C3 colon C18, which just means the range of C3 to C18. When I click away from this, it's going to put this formatting style, because the rule set right now is not empty. So it should just get everything into that green background. So click away and boom. So what we want to do is not empty. We're going to actually do a custom formula that's all the way at the bottom. It's going to always be available. You select that, and now we're going to use a formula in order to figure out what we should do with that cell or those groupings of cells. So because I think we take a look at OP screenshot again, let's start off with the blue ones. I think that's pretty reasonable. So it looks like for blue is going to be if the date is blank and the dollar value is not blank or not zero. So when we dive into this, is going to be using multiple conditions. So what we want to use is the AND formula. You can probably use other ones, but the AND formula is a really quick way to do it. So what we're going to do is $B, $B. And that's just the range. And the reason you want to use the dollar signs here is because it's an absolute kind of reference. And when you're using a conditional format rule set or formula for it, you want to use the absolute reference for it. That way, it's just best practice. Make sure to do that. If you don't use it, I've seen formulas not work. However, I've never seen it not work when you use the absolute reference. So make sure to always use the absolute reference when you're doing conditional formatting. So in this case, what we said was it should be blank. So we're going to go equals and then double quotes 2 times for the blank value. And then we're going to do the same thing for C, because we want to say that C is not blank and not equal to 0. We're going to do $C colon $C. And then to do the not equals is those 2 little arrow icons. I actually don't know what they're called, the 2 arrow icons, and basically just means not equal to in Google Sheets language or Excel language. So we don't want it to be equal to blank. And we also don't want it to be equal to 0. So we're going to type in those completely. And now when we click away from this, we should expect, sorry, not equals, not equals, not the equal sign. When we click away, we're going to see that it turns green, and now actually we want it to be blue. So you're going to go ahead and select the blue color and then white. I think that looks pretty good. So that, and now what we'll do is we're going to do another one, and we can let's tackle the green one. So the green one was that if there's a date and the dollar value is not blank or zero. So we'll do B does not equal, and then let's change this over to the green color. Oops, it's probably a little too bright. That one. So that looks about right. All the dates that have a value are showing up with the green, which is good. And then now the next one is going to be if it's blank and zero. So let's actually adjust this a little bit so that we can check this, make sure this is working. I'm going to make this the red color, and then so B is blank, so we're going to change that not equal sign to an equal sign, and then the C value should be equal to 0. And with that, we have, you know, the exact type of logic that we want here, and we can see that we have 3 different conditional formats for column C. So if it's blank and there's a value, that is blue, and then if there is a date and there is a value, then it's green, indicating that it's been paid. And then if there is no value and it's 0, that means no money has been allocated to it and it has been paid. So let's make that red. Now we have to do the same thing for column E. You might be thinking, you know, if you've used conditional formatting before, why can't I just put in E3 to E18 and then say apply that range using the same logic? Well, I mean, the reason you can't do that is because we're using column B and C for this column C over here, but then we're not using B and C for columns E. We actually have to use D and E in order to do the conditional formatting for E here. So what we're actually going to have to do is recreate all of these within column E. So go ahead and just copy all of this, and we'll just make it easy. So we'll click over to E, and then we'll say add a new rule, and we'll do E to E18 just like we did before. And we're going to select the custom formula is option from the format cells. We'll paste this guy in, and then we'll change all of the B's over to the D column, and then all of the C's to the E column. Okay, and now this was, I believe, let's say equal to 0, does not equal to blank, and does not equal to 0. So this should be the blue one. So we'll go ahead and select the blue item from here, and then also make the text white. And to test this out, we can just add in a little value. So let's just say $10 are allocated here, and that's exactly as expected. No date, but is a value. We set aside money for it, we just haven't paid it yet. So now that's blue, and that's like a pending. So I'm going to add the next rule, which is what we did before, was the green one. So let's go ahead and select that green color first, and then this is where the date value, or column D, is not blank, and then everything else is not blank or not 0, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want there. And then the last rule is going to be the red one. So we're going to say D is blank, and then E is 0, and that should give us the red color, just like that. So now we have conditional formatting rules for column E. We have 3 of those there, and then 3 of them for column C. And if you change the values around, you know, as much as you want, you're going to see that it dynamically changes everything. So we can actually, let's say car payment, we actually paid the $10 before, and we paid it today. So we add that, then it's going to turn to green. And we can do the same thing, car insurance over here. Let's say they paid that amount as well, and then that turns green. And that's essentially how you do conditional formats, you know, where you base the conditional format on a completely different cell as opposed to the one that you're actually formatting. If you have any trouble with this, you know, feel free to reach out. You can leave a comment in the section below. I mean, this is community support, so we're here to support the community. If you like this video, make sure to also hit that like button. That's the easiest way for you to help support the channel and make it so that other scrappy bootstrappers like yourself can find these videos and learn how to use all these tools and overcome some of the other hurdles that people like them, like you, have faced. And of course, we have different videos that are coming out. As indicated on the YouTube channel, we have a wide range of them. We have how-tos and guides, as well as community support, and then also concepts. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified when we release our next videos. We're actually in the middle of a Retool plus Airtable integration guide right now, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you get notified when we release the next video in that series. But this has been Bootstrapping Tools Community Support. I'm a guy called Joe. It's been a pleasure, and we're out.